All right, let's go. So if you are here, you probably want a review, a breakdown of Iman's most recent program Monetize. And why I'm looking at my phone right now is because the reason why I'm making this video is for you, of course, and for the fact that the last video with a review of Iman's Monetize program had almost 16K views, which is huge. This channel never gets that many views because I'm talking about e-commerce, business, agency world, which doesn't get a lot of views. It's not that sexy. However, I did want to make a follow-up here and actually show the program, because this video, which got 16K views, right, is just me being outside filming on the DJI Osmo Pocket. I know some of you guys were asking. And basically, I was just sharing my thoughts, right? But right now, because I'm at home, I can share my screen. I can actually let you know exactly what's in the program. I mean, I can basically just show it to you. So more or less, it's just like you would have bought it and you can go through it. So no secrets being kept here. And I'm also doing this because I'm seeing a lot of comments, such as, except the ones with the thanks, which I do appreciate. Should I buy this program, right? So a lot of people won't be able to afford it because one of the comments is actually, bro, I don't even make $2,000 per year. So this is a $2,000 program, $2,000 program. Personally, I bought it for 1.5K, and I didn't necessarily buy it just because I wanted, out of desperation, to make money, because I already have an agency. 1.5K is not a huge amount for me, right? However, I know a lot of you guys maybe are 18, 20, so very young, right? Like even I didn't have any money back then. So I will review, not to be up too long here. I will share a Loom from the laptop here. I will walk you through everything that's in there because it's the Monetize program coaching calls. But now, compared to four months ago when I initially bought it, or around 5 months ago, there's also an Ask Iman, which is more or less a ChatGPT wrapper with Iman's thoughts and everything. And there are some other programs, such as Consulting Accelerator from Sam Ovens, if you know him, one of the OGs in the internet marketing space. So a few more things. However, I will show them to you. I'll show you what you're missing out and what most likely you aren't missing out. So with that being said, if you are still here 2.3 minutes into the video, I also made a Discord because I realized that many of you won't be buying. However, it's still important to be in some kind of community. So I just made in the last few days a Discord together with someone from my team because I'm not the tech savviest. You won't actually see me there. So need to be transparent here. I don't really have time for this. However, I didn't want to make that Discord because all of you who maybe don't have a community right now, you can go there. And the name that I picked for it, I would have to remember because it was one day ago and I already forgot, but it should be Digital Freedom Alliance, right? So I want this to be like a community and you guys just talking and helping each other if possible. So the only thing you need to do is actually click the link in the description, put your email in, and I'm doing this because otherwise it would be full of bots. So you put your email in, you'll get a link to the Discord, all free, pretty straightforward, and 10 seconds from now you can already be there. So that's it. And with that being said, let me shoot a Loom and then we'll come back here for some final thoughts and a conclusion. All right, so we are in WAP here where the program is. Let me make this full screen and let me walk you through Monetize. So as you can see, I'm part of a few. Some of them are irrelevant, crypto, NFT, very old ones. However, Monetize is here. So let's go through the Monetize tabs here because there are a couple of things. Not sure if you are familiar with the platform, but usually you have channels just like in Discord. And then some of the actual channels here are either bonus resources or actual software, right? So let me walk you through it as fast as possible. If anyone wants a more in-depth walkthrough for anything in here, you can leave it in the comments and we could do another video. So what you have here is basically announcements. After you join, you can just check the announcements, see what's happening. So as you can see, recently there was a welcome to Monetize for everyone who bought. As you can see, 348 likes, 78 comments, so quite some activity in here and a lot of bonuses. So with that being said, you'll see a lot of notifications here. This is something actually new, which is kind of distracting, honestly. So let's walk through everything. Monetize Mania. So this is, for most people, pretty much useless because you need to compete with people who are making a lot of money, right? So you won't have any chance here to win. I can't remember what exactly you receive, either some kind of car or watch or something else, but the fact is that you are very unlikely to win this if you're not already making, let's say, 10K, 20K or so a month. So this is definitely not for beginners. That's one of the reasons why I would say Monetize Mania is not for beginners. It's for people who already are making money and want to get into a competition. So after that, the money method. The money method is a series, as you can see, started around August 5th, if I'm not mistaken, and there's not a lot in here, I would say. So you can read this, you can pause it if you want, but yeah, it's basically some sessions, and it tries to help you make money, right? Even though basically the entire program should do that. After that, let's go to the coaching calls, because the coaching calls are actually something that you could say are more valuable. And I think this is why you would pay around 2K, because if you do the math here, it's 1 hour or 30 minutes of Iman's time here. It's not one-to-one, so it won't be helpful, honestly. However, you do get experts here. Iman is a great marketer, so you get 40 minutes, 1 hour of actually listening him talk. Then you have digital products with the Monetize team. He does have a team. He does have to pay them, right? So this is where I wouldn't say that the program is bad or anything. I mean, it's probably one of the best out there, but compared to what you can do alone, if you are actually motivated, it's not really worth it. Then sales with JJ Hernandez, which basically you could find on YouTube. So more or less, if you don't want to get your questions answered in a group environment, then you don't need to actually join something like this. Then community call with Rebecca and Sam, great people, great gals. They have great calls, honestly, but they are more so oriented towards motivation and just keeping you on track, which is not like very technical. So you need to remember that, because a lot of it is actually you doing the work. So as you can see, quite a few in here, coaching calls. They are useful, I would say, because you have them not necessarily every day, but every week you do have a few. Then live streams. So here you can find the past recordings, as you can see. So something else that you can find around here. Then learning. This is actually one of the more important parts, or was, because honestly, you won't really learn much from a course. For example, the digital product gold rush. This is more or less what he's presenting in webinars as well. You'll see I watched almost 42% here. Then business model, digital products. So this is just an intro, right? It's like going to college and the first few hours of a course. The winner effect, I mean, some of them are good because they are focusing on your mindset, and you'll see that all the courses all the time will have a mindset. And that's because it is actually that important. After that, you have develop your product. So here you have basically a walkthrough of how to use Synthesize and Ghostwriter, which I'll go over in a second here. So as you can see, a few videos about that. You can probably pause it if you want to take screenshots and put it into ChatGPT and just make sure that you have a structure in terms of what he's teaching here. Then setting up your WAP, then influencer arbitrage. So basically working with influencers if you want a faceless channel. So this is actually pretty useful if you would want to be a faceless YouTube channel and somehow make money and sell your digital product. Then install your perpetual distribution system. This is more so about how to make your videos on YouTube and then promote them. Look at what Iman has done in the past with the agency. He had one video, which was like his perpetual, how do they call them? I can't remember right now, but it is something about your selling video. And basically you send all of that traffic to that one. That is selling, and everything else is educating and growing your audience. So expand your distribution assets. As you can see, intentional content creation system, LinkedIn masterclass, YouTube masterclass. I mean, YouTube could probably have its own course, honestly. And then basically 100 profitable digital products ideas. This is probably pretty useless. You can probably ask ChatGPT the same thing. So after that, call recordings. So you will see here a lot of calls, but unless you have never listened to an audiobook or anything like that, it's true that all of this is helpful, and many of them could be about sales, as you can see, design, digital products. But honestly, do you have the time for this? Because if you have 40 hours to listen to this in a week, you probably have 40 hours to work on your product as well, right? So I just want to be clear here that sometimes you don't have to just learn and do nothing, because in most cases it is 10% learning, 90% doing, 10% learning, 90% doing, and then just repeating that. Then let's look over Synthesize AI. I think that's how you pronounce it. So basically here you create your course. You'll see that for myself, I tried out a few eCom paid ads. So it's for brands doing 1 million a month, and I'll just walk you through it real quick, although probably we have to generate this again. So your course, as you can see, course structure, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, phase 6. Creating a course is easy. So just want to be clear here. And then each one has a lesson, right? So program overview and roadmap, objectives of the program, how to get the most out of the program, tools, visualize your program roadmap, and so on. So it's nothing extraordinary here. You could do this, and this is what to actually teach someone, deep dive into analytics, Facebook ads, optimize ad campaigns, and so on, right? So it's actually, and we'll go in a second here, what Ad Architect is, for example, a course from here. And then you have Ghostwriter OS, which I think you only have access for 1 year. So let's click on it. It seems like it auto logins. And then here you have two things. So DNA, basically who you are, as you can see. Felix, eCom agency, DNA, and then basically my agency. My assistant was actually helping me here. And when it comes to agents, you have a few. So if you want buying profiles, you use this. If you want change of beliefs ads, you use this. If you want marketing, you use this. If you want YouTube scripts, you use this, viral scripts. And then you have a video here, how to use it. You use your DNA, and then you can just say something along the lines of, I'm making a video for my YouTube audience which didn't want to buy Iman's course because it was too expensive, right? And I'm just going to click generate, right? And let's see what it gives us, because it will give you a script, but to some extent you could just ask ChatGPT, write me a script for myself, and put your name, put your background, put whatever you are doing. So basically this is where you do save some time. And this is why for business owners, for people like me, sometimes it's actually better to invest money in something and just get a faster result. So this is out. People are spending thousands on marketing courses that teach you nothing new, but here's what's crazy. So basically this is what, if you check Iman's YouTube videos, this is what he does. He has great script writing. So showing the problem, saying what's happening, and then the epiphany, right? And that's when it hit me. These courses teach you tactics, but tactics without strategy is like having a Ferrari with no GPS. As you can see, it's a script, it's good, but honestly, it's ChatGPT just with some additional prompting. Then ask Iman. So let's ask Iman here. Is Iman's course Monetize worth 2K? So the answer is it depends. That's why there will be some people who buy it, and it's fine. It's not a huge loss, right? Because even for me right now, I do feel good at the fact that I'm able to show this, and some people are saving their money or just having reassurance that this wasn't necessarily the best investment. So as you can see, Iman's thinking here, it's probably taking some ChatGPT answers and mixing them with his prompts, thinking patterns, and so on. So searching Iman's transcripts for relevant clips. So as you can see, it's fed info on Iman. So listen up. I said Monetize is my mid-ticket product that helps beginners make money with digital products. So here's the truth. Whether any program is worth comes down to fit, right? So fit, time, leverage, proof. So as you can see, a quick way to sanity check ROI without delusion. If you build a simple 49 product and sell 100 units over 90 days, that's 4.9K. It's not a promise, it's an illustration. So as you can see, it's all about how you perceive it, right? That's why I don't perceive this as a loss, because I still can share with all of you this and also use it myself if I ever wanted, which I kind of rarely do, but that's also because I'm super busy right now. So Alchemy of Self. This is a great personal development program, I would say. So continue your journey. I will show you. It's basically a set of questions. So current self, your story, your inspiration, dream life, the gap, future self. You can take a screenshot if you want. And it's basically questions. I don't have time right now to go over it because otherwise this video will become way too long, but it is about you finding more clarity about yourself. Then recommended tools. So I think these are probably affiliates. So NordVPN, Namecheap, ManyChat, HeyGen, Gamma, Framer, 11 Labs, CapCut. Some that you might need, some that you might not. Then the lounge. So this is where there's a lot of chatting. So chatting about content, tools and software. We can skip through this really quick. Again, financial wins, product wins, content wins, better every day, milestones. Everything here is basically just posts mostly. So after that, Agency Accelerator. So he added this course, which is 55 lessons long. And this is the course that he was selling for 1K before. As you can see, very high end. He did have quite a few people in here. And you can find here the actual layout. So it's linked the solid foundations. It's Iman probably most likely there, then Mindset Mastery. Actually, Mindset Mastery is Iman. Then here a mix of people. Outreach Blueprint. This is where Guilherme, I think, who is the owner of Lemlist, is actually teaching. So Iman, of course, has paid people pretty well, probably, to be here, or they have been here for the visibility. And then you also have people which you might have never seen, and these are probably the best people to learn from because they are actually tactical. They don't have time to sit in front of the camera and actually sell you things or talk in general, right? So they might not be the best at talking, but they might be the best at what they are doing. Same with outreach here and so on. Then sales agency mastery and systems and processes. Some of these are useful if you have an agency. And then mastering personal branding. Some of them you might actually find free online. So just so you know. Then ad architect. So this is by Justin Lalonde, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. So he's into media buying, paid ads, and you can probably check his YouTube channel. He's doing a great job there. And the thing is that this is a mix for beginners, because I mean, many of them here, honestly, media buying foundations are for beginners. Mastering marketing maybe is a little bit more advanced, but personally I still think it's for beginners because I do have experience here. Facebook ad mastery, same. However, there are some good things in here, such as mastering KPIs. So this is where, if you're not in eCom, you might not understand this: lifetime value, CAC target, blended break-even, profits. So these are numbers which are more geared towards agencies. So if you don't have an agency or are not interested in Facebook ads, this might not be for you. However, Facebook ads are super important. And then consulting accelerator, last but not least, because this is the program that Iman bought from Sam Ovens, or actually the new owner after Sam Ovens. And this is a great course overall. Like, it's a great course. I even went through it. I probably found it on the internet because it's almost 7 years old or so, but it's still very good. It's just like one of those books, Think and Grow Rich. That's where I would put it. I mean, not to just promote it too much here, but it is, I would say, very well crafted. And that's also because there was a lot of work put into it. And Sam Ovens was, just like Iman, a multimillionaire in the online space, and that does count. If you make money, then you did something right. And then the Monetize wheel, this is basically just some kind of wheel. I would spin it for you here, but it's useless. Probably we won't receive anything, so just bear with me here and let's look how we probably don't get anything. So not this time, and let's see how many we still have. 2. So this is a waste of time. That's why we won't really spend time here. So I'll end this after the last spin and then go for one last let's say chat here on the DJI Small Pocket and seeing you face to face. So let's see, do we get anything? Most likely not. Okay, so that was it, and let's come back to the main camera. Okay, so last words here. The loom was already around 16 minutes. My intro also pretty long. So with that being said, I've walked you through the program. You can see how it looks. Let me actually change my stance here so you see the lighting and everything. But as you can see, it's pretty raw, this video, and appreciate all the views, comments. You can leave any questions or anything else if you have in this one. You can join the Discord if you want to be part of a community. And I would advise you to think long term, because I see a lot of people who want to make money really quick, and honestly, it's not like that. Even myself, I'm working online for almost 7-8 years now, right? So many experiences, so much work, and it's been many times 12 hours a day. So if you want to have that freedom, right? Because right now it's a Saturday and I'm filming this because I do have the luxury of having this time, and also having this program that's worth 1.5K or 2K nowadays, and it doesn't hurt me that I didn't even use it. I didn't make any money out of it, right? So this is where it really depends on yourself, where you are. And I don't want to yak too long here because you probably took everything that you wanted away from it. But what I would advise is just having patience in general, and being aware that you don't need to invest so much in a program, because first of all, ideally you do start by building your own thing with ChatGPT, with free tools. There are more than enough. Getting into free communities like this one, and then after you see some traction, actually investing more in yourself. Because personally, even I invested around 3.5K actually on a coach, which primarily helped me with sales. So sales for my agency, and that was worth it because over time I just made more. Because when you charge in the agency space 2K, 3K, 5K, then you make your money either almost instantly or over the next couple of months. And one thing to note here, because I don't have anything to sell anyway, where I work is the agency. That's where I focus my attention and everything. However, I would advise most people to try an agency out, because it is actually easier to sell one product, Facebook ads, let's say, or whatever you are selling, Google ads, email marketing, to 1 or 2 businesses for 1.5K, 2K, or 3 in the beginning, than trying to sell one product that's $7, $49 to 100 people. Sometimes it's harder. So just want to put that out there, because I do also think in terms of efficiency. So with that being said, that's pretty much everything for this one. If you enjoyed it, you can leave a like, you can subscribe. I'll probably post more videos, and you can also share your thoughts if there's anything. So until next time, peace out.